All right, it's Mike. I'm back, and I'm gonna be talking about. I want to be talking about a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be ranting and raving. I'm gonna be ranting and raving today about all kinds of stuff, and that's the intro. That's my intro for today. Is I'm gonna be ranting and raving about this cult, about ex-members, about current members, you name it. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to just unload. So let's go with the intro.
Hello?
Hello.
Man, I love that opening. It gets me so worked up. It's like with the music and the stars and the whole, man, it's exciting. It's so exciting. Hey, we got fake human. Fake human, man. Running for that Kiwi. Look at that. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about how ISKCON grooms little girls. And it's pretty disgusting. And I'm going to talk about a few other things too. And I think I'm going to start off. I don't have Knitting Cult Lady today. Let me see. What do I got though? All right. Well, let's take a look at this just to start things off. Kind of wet the palate a little bit. Hey, Rafael. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, man. I got your videos, man. So we're gonna take a look at one of them. We're gonna take a look at one of them right now, and let's take a look at this. What's wrong with it?
Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare.
So it's always with the little girls with this guy, and I don't understand it. This video is a little tame. It's tamer than the other ones, I guess. But still, with the little girls, and I don't know what's up with that. And, you know, as much as he hangs around with women on the stage and all the dancers and his entourage and all the little girls and touching them and rubbing on them, and I mean, this is not something new. This has been going on for a long time. And Raphael knows, right? Raphael, he knows as well as anyone. Raphael knows better than anyone. About this guy, this guy. So we're actually very fortunate. I'm very fortunate that Raphael is he knows this guy. Okay, so this guy, but nobody speaks out about this guy. Not one of their gurus, none of the GBC, and no temple presidents. Nobody says, hey, what's up with this guy and these little girls and all these women? Nobody says anything. He's the only one. Nobody else does this. Bhaktivinoda Swami, he certainly doesn't hang around with women. He doesn't have any women anywhere near him. He's got an app, shows him where the nearest woman is so he can make sure he's a distance away. He doesn't have any women near him. But this guy is like, I don't know, and the older he gets, the creepier it is. I mean, this guy's like almost 80 years old, and it's just a big scam. And I'm not even get into the scam part of it. I'm not even going to get into this. You know, that there's so many parts to this friggin' disgusting machine. That every little part, you know, that makes the whole thing work is fucking disgusting. These gurus, just the fact that they're scamming these people, that's a whole, I've done a bunch of videos just on that. Each individual scamming fucking guru fraud, including probably all of them. And that's just one cog in the wheel. That's just one gear that makes the whole machine work. Oh, this guy, born in 49. I'm so bad with math. But, you know, that makes him friggin' 70-something years old. The guy's old. Maybe he wanted to be around kids like that, then why didn't he get married and have kids? Why didn't he just get married and have kids and have a bunch of grandkids? This is bullshit, man. And he's playing like he's a holy man? Like he's a holy man. Hey, Queen of Karma. Hey, great to see you here. I know you're doing great work. I watched the rest of that video, and it was just so, man. I just, man, that was great. And I'm so glad you did that. I'm so glad you. I'm waiting for the next one too. I know. I know. It's just another gear to get closer to that kiwi, man. And that's all it is, you know. And if you're wondering what this picture behind me is, this is like, that's me, and that's my daughter. Right there. That's my daughter. That's me. And we're in India. That's Loy Bazaar. Loy Bazaar. That's Loy Bazaar. And, of course, we're buying clothes in Loy Bazaar. So anyway, you know, I'm going to be ranting and raving. And I'm kind of like, I realize I'm a lot like that guy, Lewis Black. He's one of my favorite guys. But he rants and raves. And I'm a lot like that because I feel I get his energy, you know, and I just want to make it clear. I'm going to go on a rant right now, and I just want to make it clear. Yeah, Loy Bazaar. How bizarre. It's Loy Bazaar. I just want to make it clear that I'm not trying to convert anybody to anything. I'm not trying to turn anybody into an atheist or make you stop doing whatever you're doing. I'm letting you know that this is a pedophile cult. And if you happen to be in it, this is what it is. And if that hurts your feelings, or you don't want to hear that information, or you're offended by that, or you think that I'm coming down on Hinduism, or I'm coming down on anybody's beliefs, or well, if you're in a pedophile cult, I'm coming down on those beliefs. I'm sorry. This is for deprogramming. This is for you to hear the truth about this cult. I'm not here to tell people that you shouldn't be a Hindu, or you shouldn't chant, or you shouldn't do anything that you want to do. You do what you want to do. I'm letting you know, if you're doing it with these people, this is a pedophile cult. These people are like the Taliban. They're like ISIS. They want to tell people what to do. They want to tell you what you can read, what you can't do, what you can do, what I can say, what I can't say. They want to take rights away from women. They want to do all of these things. All of these things that people say, well, we don't want Sharia law, and we don't want the Taliban and ISIS and Al Qaeda and all of this stuff. Well, you got Hare Krishnas dancing around in your city that believe the same fucking things. And I'm the one here to tell you about it. And if it hurts your feelings, or you don't want to hear it, well, then you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. These people have no respect for anybody if you're not a Hare Krishna. And they have no respect for women or little girls. You can't tell me that someone who wants to marry off a 12-year-old girl has respect for women, who says that women can be smacked around. I mean, you ain't gonna defend that. Not around me. I'm gonna call that shit out. This is a pedophile cult. They have no respect for women, children, little kids. Beating little kids. I think it's okay. You don't want to chant, I'll beat it into you. They don't care. Marrying off little girls? I ain't making this stuff up. I've got a ton of videos where I've shown everything that I'm talking about. When I make a video or make a statement, I don't need to show a friggin' 2-hour video where I talked about it 6 months ago. Nothing wrong with ranting and raving when you're discussing topics. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you understand. These are little kids. Not just little kids, but that woman that, like, she got a book. I know what happened. I mean, I know what happened because it happens every day. Just from one paragraph, I know exactly what happened. She got a book. That's it. She got a book, or she'd met somebody and they're talking to her, and she got a book. She started reading that book thinking it was just some harmless scripture from India, like a book of poetry or something. No, it's not. And she got hooked. She got hooked. And 2 months in, she's frustrated, confused. She's having problems with her boyfriend. She's posting on a internet, on a page saying, hey, I got into, on a Hare Krishna page, hey, I got into this, and now I'm confused, I'm frustrated, I don't want to be intimate with my boyfriend. Who knows else what's going on that she isn't saying. But that was enough. I saw right away what's going on. I saw it right away. Hey, it's N. I made him, I don't know. Right. Everyone should, not everybody speaks out. I mean, I understand not everybody has the same personality, but absolutely, everyone should find their voice, is what we used to say in customer service. When you have to say something to someone and it's difficult. You got to tell someone their reservation's canceled or their plane line got canceled or whatever. You got to find your voice and just say, hey, this is how it is. And it's not easy. Not everybody can do that. For whatever reason, a lot for everybody. There's no judgment. No judgment at all. I wonder though sometimes, I go, well, how come when I search YouTube or I search the internet and I look for Krishna cult stuff, I don't see anybody like me doing what I'm doing. There's a few that have done stuff in the past. I don't see anybody doing what I'm doing now. I'm the guy doing it now. And I'm going to share what I know, and I'm going to share what I know. We need updates from that woman. Maybe she posted more about her new life. You know, I checked on that. I'm going to tell you, I checked on that, and she hadn't updated. I haven't checked in a while. She hadn't updated, but there were a lot of people commenting on what she should do, as if they are experts in anything but being a brainwashed friggin' cult member. giving her brainwashed cult advice on what to do. Insane stuff. Offer the sex to Krishna. Offer the sex to Krishna. This woman's been in, she got a book 2 months ago. She's confused and frustrated, and she's having problems with her boyfriend because her boyfriend's not into it, and she wants to get into it, and the cult is telling her all these things she's got to do to advance. So naturally, she wants to advance. It's like learning. It's like to her, it's like she's learning tennis, or she's learning yoga, or she's learning whatever. But no, it's not. It's manipulation. So in 2 months, they've already got her manipulated. She thinks she's learning some great, cool thing, ancient tradition, whatever. No. Now she's got to break up with her boyfriend. She's got to give up this and give up that and do all these things. It's telling her that her family's not really her family. Her parents aren't really her parents. Her children aren't really her children. Women are submissive, and women are this and that. It's filling her head with all kinds of stuff. This is what it's doing to her in 2 months. And now these freaks are giving her advice. And we know what kind of advice they're giving her. They're giving her fucked up advice. Telling her to offer the sex to Krishna. She didn't even know what that means. And how do you even do it? Where does Prabhupada say that? Prabhupada doesn't say offer sex to Krishna. He says there's things you got to do before you can have sex. You got to chant all these rounds. You got to do all this kind of stuff. Fire sex. I don't know. You got to do all kinds of stuff. You got to chant a bunch of rounds. He never says this. And how would she do that? Was she supposed to think of Krishna while she's having sex with her boyfriend? And not think about her boyfriend? I mean, what other fucked up shit are they filling her head with? That's enough to make you go crazy. It makes me go crazy because I know what's going on. And I feel bad for her and the boyfriend. The boyfriend doesn't know what the fuck is happening. He's like, I don't know, man. I thought you were just going to the temple just to go do it. Now all of a sudden you're not eating meat. We're not going to the movies. You don't want to have sex with me. You're calling everybody demons and malechas and using these words that I don't even know what you're talking about. It is I'm getting ahead. Yes, it's so sinister. It's cult advice for cult struggles. Yeah, just do more of the same that's frustrating the fuck out of you. Just chant some more. Hey, Dahlia, good to see you. Trey Martin, great to see you here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm an expert deprogrammer, but I appreciate the comment. I do. And I'm just speaking historic facts with receipts and telling the plain. I do. I show everything out of the database. I show videos. I explain what's going on. I read verses from the books. I think I know what I'm talking about. I think I'm probably one of the best, one of the best ones there is. I wasn't no Swami or Guru or GBC or anything like that, but it's so sad. It is so sad. Screw it. She's on the road to ruin. 2 months in, that's how fast it happens. It's just amazing. It's like that other guy, Paz's brother, gets a book and ends up in India, and then now he's got a guru, and the guru, that person's guru is on my wheel of idiot. They just ruined her relationship, another millionth case. And yeah, they absolutely, because, the only thing she can do is to just cut it off and go and just cut it off because it's not going to get any better. I wish I wish he'd be in here because I'm going to say, look, you're feeling confused and frustrated now. And you're only 2 months in. Just wait till you're 6 months in. Wait till you're trying to chant 16 rounds a day and go to Mangal Artik and do all this bullshit. And you don't have your boyfriend no more, and you're living in an ashram in the temple, and they got a bhakta leader and a Mataji telling you all kinds of crap. Think how confused and frustrated you are going to be then, going, well, where's the happiness? I thought I was supposed to be chanting and be happy. See, Raphael knows. Sounds like step-by-step indoctrinating. Typical ISKCON. Fish in the net. Initial struggle has begun. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what pissed me off when I saw that post. I already did a video where we talked about it. It's like I'm rehashing. We already did a whole video about it. But yeah, it's disgusting. This cult is cursed. But that's one of the things that pisses me off. That makes me rant and rave. It's like, and people don't realize it. This person's life is fucked up now. Even if she cut it off, she's still got some of that shit in her head. And who knows, and she ain't cut it off right now. She's 2 months in. She's 2 months in. She doesn't have anybody in the Krishna side telling her, hey, just mellow out. You know, you don't, no. They're telling her, come on. Just cut him off. Just come on. See, she doesn't have anybody like Mike or any of us. She doesn't have any support system that can say, hey, wait a minute. She's got the cult telling her, come on. Cut him off. He's not he's not this. Fuck him. You don't need him. You got Krishna now. Filling her head with that cult shit. She's got nobody except maybe the boyfriend telling her, hey, put the brakes on. You know, you maybe pump the brakes a little bit on this. No. Other than him, and that's a relationship thing. That's a relationship dynamic, so that's really not going to go over because she's already going to have like, well, that's him trying to tell me what to do. She needs someone else to say, hey, slow down. And she ain't got that. The only thing she's got is him and them pulling her in. And it's fucked up. He must be so confused and worried. Yeah, it's, you know, I look at it this way. Queen of Karma, I look at it this way. 2 months in, she needs to either cut it off now or it's done. It's done. Like I told the guy, like I told Paz. Your brother is in India milking a cow. He's done. It's over for him. All you can do now is hope that he leaves on his own. Either his brain is done, and her brain 2 months. If she's feeling confused and frustrated, that means she doesn't know whether to stay or to go. That's the confusion. She doesn't know whether she wants this Krishna thing, this fake pedophile cult that she doesn't know is a pedophile cult. She doesn't know if she wants this cosplaying pedophile cult or the real world. And that's the confusion. That's the confusion. And that's the frustration. She wants the fake fantasy pedophile cult that they're giving her and saying, hey, we have flowers and bells and all of this. And she's got the real world. And she's confused. Because I remember that moment. When I was reading Bhagavad Gita and I went to my friend and I said, so is everybody who's not a Hare Krishna basically a demon? And he just looked at me and he was like, he said, well, are they eating meat? And I said, yeah. And he said, are they following the four regulative principles? And I said, for the most part, no. And he said, well, yeah, they're demons. That's what he told me. And I had that moment in my head when I was like, whoa. And it was like this, it was almost like understanding a conspiracy theory. Like, oh, I get it. Everybody's been fooled. And I got the answer. I realize it's a conspiracy theory, and everybody else doesn't understand it's a conspiracy theory. And it's my job to wake them up to the conspiracy theory. That's basically how my brain processed it. Because there is that moment where you say, Prabhupada is saying that everybody's a demon. If they're not chanting Hare Krishna, not following four regular principles, not worshiping the bona fide spiritual man, then you're a demon. You're a Malecha Yavana Rakshasha. So she's confused, and she's probably at that point. That's the confusion. Well, you're telling me that my family are demons, and my boyfriend's a demon, and everybody that I thought was cool, Taylor Swift, and everybody's a demon because they're not a Hare Krishna, and I got the secret? Now I'm confused. I'm confused and frustrated now. That's what she's going through. That's probably what she's going through. That's what this cult does. They destroy your life and your relationships. They want you to end up alone. I've seen this over and over. They do. They want that free labor. See, if you're alone in the ashram, hey, you can go to work, selling books, chopping vegetables, mowing the lawn, cleaning up, doing, well, women can make clothes and sew flower garlands and take care of the kids and you know, do all that girly stuff. And sell books. You can go sell books. You can go push a shopping cart full of books around Costco parking lot. You can definitely do that. And the poor boyfriend, his mind is blown. Our minds are blown. I mean, we know. See, all of us ex-members, we're saying we know exactly what's going on. We all know exactly what's going on. We've seen it. I hope he comes across your channel. Maybe he'll seek out some info when he tries to find out what the fuck is happening and comes across this video. I hope so. And I said that before. I was like, you know, she needs to find my video. She needs to find my video, and he needs to find my video. But why doesn't she go on the internet and do some research and find out about who this Prabhupada guy is and who these Hare Krishnas are and the history of their $400 million child abuse lawsuit and all the suicides that this cult has caused adults and children. We always want to talk about the children being harmed, but I knew two grown men committed suicide because of this cult, and my daughter was molested, and I met other kids that were molested. So how does that happen? I mean, come on. And I live in Los Angeles. There's millions of people in Los Angeles, like 7 million people in Los Angeles. I come in contact with one temple, and I meet two people that end up committing suicide, a bunch of kids that have been molested, my daughter's molested. Just from hanging around one temple. I mean, come on, man. Does that make sense? I mean, come on. Does that make sense to anybody? That you can have that much bullshit in like one. Definitely a lady ashram leader told her, when you make one step towards Krishna, he will make 100 steps towards you. Absolutely, man. She has heard that. And devotional service is limitless slave work, since Krishna is limitless. And devotional service, man, you got to be eager for that. You got to be eager for that service. You got to want service. You're supposed to go up to the temple and go, what can I do? Can I take out the trash? What can I do? And if there's nothing else to do, you got to go sell some books. Sell these books full of this pedophile crap. And groom some more little girls into this thing. She needs to come on here and hear the truth before her life takes a nasty turn. I agree with you, Tim, but to be honest with you, I believe her life has already taken a nasty turn. It already has. A fake aha moment. Yeah, it's like the brain trying to figure it out, you know? It's like the brain trying to rationalize the irrational. That doesn't make sense, but if I spin it this way, hey, it makes sense. It does make sense after all. The type of mythical nonsense they use to brainwash you through guilt trip and fake emotional attachment. It's no different than Hot Lips laughing and giggling and crying in front of Gora Haridas. She wants to impress him, and she wants it to be real. She wants to impress him and go, look, I'm in ecstasy, I'm laughing and giggling just from hearing the name of Radha and Krishna. I'm going. Yes. Yeah, it does happen in conspiracy theory, high control groups too, for sure. Yeah, well, this is definitely a high control conspiracy. You think you came across the truth and know the secret? Absolutely. Well, Prabhupada says in his books, he's telling you in his books that you've come across the absolute truth through disciplic succession that's coming from God through these imaginary people down through history, through an individual person, to him. Through him, he is linked directly, person by person by person by person, person by person. He gives their names. It's such bullshit to think that there's a list of people that goes back 5,000 years to a guy sitting in the mountains. It's ridiculous. Excuse me. It's ridiculous. But that's what they believe. Everyone from this person that's just got it to Hot Lips to me, we all bought in to that Prabhupada was in this line of people who were pure gurus coming down all the way, including the spaceman that was playing the guitar that floats between planets. We all accepted that Prabhupada was in this line of people, and it made Prabhupada special. That's the whole transcendental, that's the mission. That's the mission of Hare Krishna, is that Lord Chaitanya's transcendental book distribution, Sankirtan, chanting of Hare Krishna, to save the world. That transcendental mission, 500-year-old mission, or whatever it is coming through Prabhupada as the Sampradaya Acharya, through this line of people, going all the way back. And he is the only one that can give us this information so that we know the truth about Krishna and the gopis and all of this stuff. He's the one. That's the mission. So even though he's gone, the mission continues, because the mission is spreading the word. Just like through Christianity, the transcendent mission is Jesus Christ who can relieve your sins. The transcendent mission in Hare Krishna is Prabhupada is going to deliver you and take you back to Godhead. So yeah, we got the absolute truth. We found the secret. The secret is Prabhupada. Prabhupada's the one that can do it. And we still got George Harrison and Boy George. And Madonna was involved. There's a lot of people involved that you don't know. A lot of people you don't know. Haley Mills, I think she grew up in it, or she joined it. Haley Mills, an actress from the Disney actress. A bunch of people you don't know are Hare Krishna. So before joining Hare Krishna, were you a demon too? I would have asked that friend. What's the transition from demon to not demon feel like? It feels like chanting. Once you chant, that's why they say, that's why they say, oh, you're so fortunate that you came in contact with Prabhupada. You're so fortunate you've taken this book. You're so fortunate that you see the face of Lord Jagannath. You're so fortunate. This is the beginning of your spiritual life. Even if you don't take a book, the fact that you met a devotee, or you saw the book, or you saw Prabhupada's picture, or anything, that is the beginning of your liberation. It might not be, that's the first deposit in your spiritual bank account, is that first contact. First contact, like that movie with Jodie Foster, First Contact. That's the transition from demon to devotee. First contact. That's because you're actually, when you make that first contact with that first person, you are a type of guru. You gave them their first book. Just like the guy that gave me my book. And Raphael knows. Raphael can explain that even. Raphael could probably explain it better than me, but I just explained it too. She might not seek outside info, but it sounds like he might. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely. She's not going to seek outside help, but he might come in here one day and go, "Hey, I'm that guy." He could come in here and go, "Hey, I'm that guy that you're talking about." I know I ask myself that with multi-level marketing a lot too. Why join something you don't research? But I did it a few times myself. Why? I don't know. I was tricked. Yeah, I was in the Hare Krishnas, and then I did a multi-level marketing thing, and immediately I said, "This is a cult." But I couldn't really, I wasn't a cult expert, but I was in the Hare Krishnas, and I immediately recognized this is exactly what we do, but instead of Krishna, it's money. You just remove Krishna and put a dollar sign, and everything was the same. We got up early in the morning, we went to the office, we all sat around and talked about how we were going to make money, and different techniques on how to make money, how to get money from the public, selling stuff, just like selling books. And then we went out and we did it all day, and then we came back and we talked about how great we did. And the whole mentality was we had a leader who was showing us the way on how to make this money, and we were devoted to him. And everything we did, we had chants. We had money chants. It was almost like kirtan. It was really weird. And I didn't last too long because I wasn't making any money. Because it's a scam. It's just a scam. You don't really make money. The guy up above makes all the money. And I quit after a month or so. I don't know, I did like 5 weeks. I think I did like 5 weeks. And I quit that, but I remember that it was a cult. I said, this is just like Hare Krishna. I was like, this is just like Hare Krishna. The George Harrison song is kind of lamenting that getting to Krishna is so hard, and the gurus always say this is to keep you begging for more. Krishna isn't cheap. Yeah, Prabhupada likes to say that. It's like, that was what I said. Okay, this is a perfect example. This is what I said. I said, okay, if chanting gives liberation, and it gives transcendental bliss, and the holy name is Krishna, and Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, how come everybody's getting it? It makes sense that everybody would get it. How come there's so few of us that are understanding it? And I was told by these old-time Prabhupads, well, it's like a diamond. It's like a diamond. Not everybody can buy a diamond. Only few people can buy a diamond. Diamonds aren't for everybody. Like the average person is not out buying diamonds because they can't afford it. They just can't. It's out of their range. So only diamonds are a girl's best friend. There's a certain customer for diamonds. So there's a certain customer for Krishna, and that's explained in the Bhagavad Gita. There's 4 types of people that come to Krishna: those that are inquisitive, those that want power, and those that want money, and those that want the absolute, those that are seeking the absolute truth, something like that. And they make it so it's almost impossible to reach the final goal and meet Krishna. Yeah, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how it's just like it's always out of reach? It's just you just never reach that pure bliss. Although Hot Lips says she's already there because she starts crying at the drop of a hat. I sure hope Gora Hari comes up on the wheel. Exactly, like an endlessly. You're constantly working, but you're not going anywhere. Constantly working. So I'm gonna move on because I wanted to share how ISKCON is growing. First, I'm going to show you what's going on. Okay, and this seems harmless. I'm gonna tell you right now. It seems like, well, hey, how else are you going to teach kids? How else are you going to teach kids, right? New children's book, Radha's Magic Mantra, released to inspire young devotees. So this it says Roshini Chaudhary, a graphic designer and devotee living near the ISKCON Houston Temple, has released her debut children's book, Radha's Magic Mantra, designed to help young devotees develop a deeper connection with the practice of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra through storytelling and illustration. So it goes on. It says, this observation led her to envision a children's story that would be both fun and educational. Doesn't that look like fun? Don't those kids look like they're having a blast right there? The book, it goes on, and it says that the book is aimed, excuse me, it says, I'm trying to find where it says my 5-year-old son absolutely loved this beautiful devotional book. So there was another one, Govardhan Leela Devi Dasi, mother of 2 daughters, ages 7 and 3, observed Roshni's book is a great addition to our spiritual library. Okay, so and you say, well, it's indoctrinating children into this chanting of Hare Krishna, into the brainwashing with these stories. But what are they being brainwashed into? What is this religion? What is it that they're being? What are these books teaching them? It's teaching them about chanting, but it's teaching them to develop their devotion to this cult, right? That's what it's for. It's to make them chant and become better devotees, right? It's to make them it uses storytelling to explain the importance of chanting Hare Krishna attentively. Okay, so this is it's in addition to their spiritual library. This is about in a story narration form that children of young ages can easily relate to. A charm message is conveyed to small children about the importance of the sacred Maha Mantra. So this is getting them to become more attached to chanting, to become more devotional, all of these things that a religion would want their small children to do. But what is it that this religion is doing? What is it teaching these girls about being a woman? About being married at 12 years old? I want to get to this, so I can't get to all these comments. I'm so glad that you're all commenting. I'm going to try and get to him in a minute. So that's a whole thing. But I wanted to just, on a side note, I was down here and I was like looking at this thing, and okay, this is what it says. It says service and broader vision. Currently living near the ISKCON Houston Temple, Roshni serves daily through garland making for Radha Nilamadava, teaching children and adults about Krishna consciousness and offering her graphic design skills to the temple. That means working for free for the temple, free labor. Offering her graphic design skills to the temple. Her vision extends beyond this single publication. My broad vision is to utilize my creativity for spiritual education. So she says, helping children connect personally with chanting. Here it is. So it says here, targeting to children ages 4 to 7. Particularly those growing up in devotee families are just beginning to learn about chanting. So basically it's about chanting, but chanting is what this religion is about. But when I get down here and it says, the writer of this, Kulavadi Krishna Priya Devidasi, she's the one who wrote this article, hails from Kolkata, India. She holds a master's degree in history and has completed a postgraduate program in strategic digital marketing. Now, I don't know where she has a master's degree in history, but if she has a master's degree in history and she doesn't understand that this stuff that these are stories and it's not real history, that there was no. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But anyway, here's another one who has a master's degree in history and evidently just doesn't understand history at all and thinks that there's a demon head eating the moon. I don't know. That's a whole other issue. That's a whole other show. But anyway, about more about this book. So you guys say, well, what is? Let's look at the Veda base and see what Prabhupada has to say. Let's see, what is this here? This is the Veda base. This is the conversation that Prabhupada is having. Prabhupada himself, the leader of this cult, the founder, the one who wrote all these books, the one who taught these people exactly how to think, how to act, how to walk, how to squat, how to shit, how to wipe their ass, everything. He taught them everything. So here he is. He's saying, probably there's a break in this conversation, like I've said, the tape, someone didn't turn on the machine or whatever. Prabhupada speaking. He says, topless, is that freedom for the women? So evidently they were talking, I think they were probably, they were in a car, so evidently they probably drove by a girly bar or something, maybe topless bar, and somebody said something. And Prabhupada is saying, so the conversation picks up and it says, topless, is that freedom for the woman? Let me get myself over here where I'm supposed to be. And we're going to go with pink. Whoops. Okay. Is that freedom for the woman? The shop is open from 10 to 4 a.m. Yeah, so I guess it's a strip club, right? I have seen the signboard in Texas. Is that freedom for the woman? They have no means of livelihood, and they come. And then Satsvarup, who was supposed to be one of the more intelligent of the followers at that time, says, but those women who advocate women's liberation, they also say that that is not freedom for women, that the men are using the women. Prabhupada, not only that, I have seen that if one woman is speaking, he was sitting, I am going, oh, she has got husband. Immediately, I studied all this. Prabhupada's acting like he studied material life in some way. She became very surprised that her friend had a husband, Guru Kripa. The thing is that the marriages are simply based on sex. Therefore, the marriages don't last long. Okay, oh, my evil twin. Okay, let me just stop right there for a second. I just have to say, these Hare Krishnas, their whole marriage is based on sex. Prabhupada says that a man has to be a brahmachari until he's the age of 24, whatever, 22, 23, 24, whatever it is, then he can get married. He's got to, then if he wants to have sex, get married, he can have a woman have sex. And then when he's done with the woman, he can take sannyas and just go. How is that not about sex? That's not about having a loving relationship with a woman for the rest of your life and being devoted to her and developing loving exchanges and emotional attachment or anything. No. He's saying when he's 24, you can have a 12-year-old wife, you can have sex, she has a couple kids. Once the kids are grown and you're older now and you can, 25 years from when you're 25 to you're 50, you'll be 50 years old. Your wife was 11 or 12, so she's going to be 40. She's only going to be 39 or whatever. I'm so bad with numbers. She's going to be in late 30s. You're going to be 50. You can go off. You can be vanaprastha, and you can leave your wife, and you don't have to deal with her anymore. How is that? How is that marriage not just for sex and for kids? Well, where's the love in that? My mom and dad had a much more fulfilling, loving relationship for 60 friggin' years. These Hare Krishnas, they don't know how to have a loving relationship with anybody. And he's got the nerve to say, the thing is that the marriages are simply based on sex, therefore the marriages don't last long. That's full of shit. Prabhupada's already got Prabhupada's got these guys brainwashed to think and talk and be little Prabhupads, acting just like him. Friggin'. That means they want permanent husband. That is their heart's desire. But no, Prabhupada speaking. But no husband. Is that civilization? And here the father's duty is that before she attains puberty, let me find out husband suitable. This is civilization. Now, tell me what the fuck that is. Somebody tell me what the fuck that is. Prabhupada is saying, that means they want permanent husband. That is their heart's desire. But no husband. Is that civilization? And here the father's duty is that before she attains puberty, let me find out a husband suitable. This is civilization. And she was under my care. I give in charity to a suitable boy. Oh, man, it sounds like I give you some dowry, decorated the girl, be happy. That sounds like human trafficking. So this is what these little girls have to be, chant and get attached to this religion so we can brainwash you to be, when you're 12 and 13 years old, we can assign you a husband. Satsvarup says, they criticize this in ISKCON, that the leaders pick out husband and wife. There you have it right there. Satsvarup is saying, they criticize us. There's my evil twin. They criticize us for doing this. They criticize us for doing this. When we pick out and marry these young girls with these boys, these older boys, people want to criticize. People in the movement want to criticize. That's what he's saying. They criticize this in ISKCON, he says. Prabhupada, that's it. That's proof. And that they're not allowed to mix freely. They say, well, how do you know who you want to marry unless you can mix with that person? Prabhupada, there is no question of how do you want. You require, and the parents is the best selector. See, Prabhupada is not messing around. He's not saying, they can do whatever they want. They can they can reject. No, he's saying the parents are the best selector. He says it is not a question how do you like. These girls are not getting a choice in who their husband is. It is the guardian's duty to find out a suitable husband or suitable wife. Nowadays, the boys and girls, they do not take parents' guidance, and they are not happy. Hari Sari says, the thing is the parents are not qualified to give any guidance anymore either. Hari Sari doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He wants to act like he's a holy man because he follows this idiot Prabhupada around. Prabhupada, qualified, that is not very difficult. For the girl, find out a boy who is a hard worker or a little educated. Boss, that's all. That was the selection. Then fortune. You give a daughter under the care of a boy who can work hard. That's all. Then they will earn their livelihood. Even there is no education. A hard worker will do. A boy, as soon as he has got the sense that I have got a wife to maintain, he'll work. That is impetus to give him work for the family. If a boy gets wife or woman without any hard working, then why should he marry? And if he has got responsibility that I have to maintain my wife, then I can enjoy. Then he becomes responsible. This is the kind of shit that Prabhupada is teaching these guys. He's teaching this to them to their face. These are the leaders of his movement. He's teaching them about child marriage, about 12-year-old girls marrying grown boys. He calls them boys. It's weird how he calls 12-year-old girls. They're old. They're like women, right? 12-year-old girls are old enough to marry, but the boys are at 25 years old. He still calls them boys. This is the mentality that Prabhupada has in this conversation. Prabhupada's talking about this guy, this Indian devotee. He says, my Tilaka's wife, she told me she was very upset, One day, when she came to see you, and that one rascal yogi was there, and he said that in the Vedas, everything is mentioned, that we can drink and women and the man have equal right. Then you answered her, and she was also saying the same thing, and you answered her, okay, if women and the man have equal right, then why not your husband begot the children? No, why not you begot the children in the womb of your husband? And she was very upset, She said, Prabhupada sometimes say the things like that which are unreasonable, Prabhupada, it may require. No, I said that if you are equal rights, then make some arrangement. Sometimes you become pregnant, sometimes he becomes pregnant. Why there is not right, equal right? Okay. So you're going to tell me that this is a holy man. This is a holy man. They're saying men and women should be treated equally. And Prabhupada says, I don't want to treat women equally, based on the fact that women give birth to the babies. So therefore, I don't have to treat women equally. That's what he's saying. Based on the fact that women give birth to children and men don't, women don't have to be treated equal, that they don't have equal rights, that men can tell them what to do. Men can tell women what to do. That's what he's saying. That's what he says in his books. Don't think that what he says in these conversations is anything different than what he says in his books. This is all the same shit. It's just easier to find it in these conversations because it cuts right to the chase. You can't read his books and then go, well, this is different. No, it's the same. Prabhupada goes on, he says, the medicine is not always palatable for these people. The Indian man says, she was telling me when I said that Prabhupada sometimes says these things and we feel all ashamed, because, devotee 2, the medicine is not always palatable for these people. Prabhupada, but in speaking spiritual understanding, we cannot make any compromise. Prabhupada sounds like me. I'm not making any compromise I don't compromise for these people. Prabhupada says women don't get equal rights. He says children are married off at 12 years old, before puberty. In this conversation, he says before puberty. In other places, he says 12. In other places, he says from 13 to 16, depending on whatever he decided in his head that day. Women do not get equal rights in the Hare Krishna movement. These little girls are not growing up. Where are those little girls? These little girls are not growing up with equal rights. They're being taught that they need to be subservient to a man. They need to be, under the husband's protection. He can tell them what to do. Just like they're gonna. I hate to say it, but they're gonna end up like Rupa Manjari, getting knocked around by Nara Narayan, and not speaking out because they're being taught that that's what they need to do. They just need to shut up and take it, or they're not going to go back to Godhead. Who are they to talk back to their husband? Her husband is like a guru. That's what these girls have to look forward to, and I'm not making it up. I ain't making it up. I'm married off at 12 years old, 13 years old. This cult has no respect for women. Let's take another look at one of something in their book. Oh, well, this is a good one. Maybe I should save this. No, I'm not going to save this. I'm going to go right to this. I'm going to go right to this conversation. So I was looking at this conversation, okay? I don't know how I overlooked this conversation. Probably because it has nothing. I wasn't interested in this. I mean, it didn't make any. I wasn't searching for. I never searched. Okay. This is a conversation that Prabhupada had with these guys about ripping off tourists in Vrindavan and Bombay who are looking for yoga classes. And so he says, this is what he says. So Prabhupada says, so Gopal Krishna says, yeah, Srila Prabhupada, no, if you teach yoga system, they'll pay for that. So Prabhupada's asking, like evidently someone told him, Gopal Krishna, this is how it's going to work. We are going to give them free yoga lessons. They will come in our guest house and live there, but we have already increased the rate of the rooms. So they increase the rate of the rooms, and they're going to give them free yoga classes. Prabhupada says, that is not good. Gopal Krishna. No, this is how all these yoga camps are working. So he wants to make it like a yoga camp, like people who actually go for yoga. They think they're taking a yoga class. They think they're taking a yoga class, but they end up in a friggin' Hare Krishna ashram. So he says, this is how all these yoga camps are working. They make their money from the rest from the rent. Prabhupada, one who is not going to learn yoga system, then they have to pay increased rate. Gopal Krishna. No, this is an extra facility. In other words, Prabhupada, no, extra facility is somebody may be interested in learning yoga, others may not be, so why he should pay more? Gopal Krishna. Well, we can charge them a little more. I'm just saying how the other establishments are running, because this is the big attraction to get people. And almost every foreigner will be interested in this. This is like, it's not that they are really getting it free, because we are covering ourselves by increasing the rates and the restaurant. Prabhupada, you are covering, but those who are not interested, why they should pay more? That is my point. Gopal, no. But yes, but the answer is we have established a double pricing system. For all foreigners are paying 15 rupees for single room, 25 for double, and Indians are paying 8 and 15, and we are working. Prabhupada, why they understand that, when they understand that you have got such discrimination, they are dissatisfied. Gopal Krishna, no, what we have done, we have added in various different points, like extra bed sheet, 1 rupee, extra this. We have added in these extra points, so the total does come to 15 and 20, and 25 is very cheap. But I then explained to them that we can't make it anymore because we are in competition with Prabhupada. But you don't get customer even lesser than that. First of all, see your position. You may calculate in the middle that this is cheap, this is not, but cheap or no cheap, you are not getting any customer. Gopal Krishna, no, because we never went after tourist traffic. We have just started going after this foreign traffic with these brochures. And now we have Prabhupada. And now in the 6th chapter, there are 47 verses, so divide 47 with 7. Gopal Krishna, that's 7. 7, Jagadish, almost 7. You want to do like 7 verses a day? Prabhupada, yes. Gopal, oh, we can do 7 verses a day. Prabhupada, 47 verses should be divided by 7, so daily 7 verses average 1 class. So he goes on, and it gets really interesting. He talks about no women and what they can give, but basically what they're doing, my evil twin. Basically what they're doing is they're trying to set up kind of like a scam yoga class where people come in thinking they're going to learn yoga, and they hit them up with Bhagavad Gita classes, and they pay a rate, an increased rate to stay in the guest house. They get so it's just like the yoga ashrams that actually teach yoga. You go, you pay, you live in the ashram, and every day you go to a yoga class and you learn yoga. So they're telling Prabhupada, hey, we're gonna do this too, except instead of yoga, we're gonna teach them Bhagavad Gita. And eventually they convince Prabhupada that yes, this is a good idea to scam these people, these tourists, into doing these yoga classes. And you can have one class, you can have 7 classes, 7 different classes, and every class a day, for 7 days. So every day every day is a new day, so someone can take the new class. Have all 7 classes going all day. Prabhupada figured it out. Once he figured out what was going on, Prabhupada was on the ball. You can read that conversation in the Veda base. Now I wanted to get back to the children, the girls. I wanted to get back to the girls, okay? I got to go back because I was actually reading some of this. And I got to go back because this is Krishna being Krishna in the Krishna books, and this is one of the stories that they teach the kids. And I was talking the other day about Lord Nrsingadev and how he kills. That's the other thing. I'm going to talk about that right now too, before I forget, because I have a way of forgetting. I was talking about Nrsingadev killing the children. And Nrsingadev, and someone was telling me that it's not true. Nrsingadev doesn't kill the children. He doesn't kill the kids. And that's not the story that I. So I looked it up. In the Bhagavatam, and Nrsingadev definitely kills everybody. So if he kills everybody, it says there's no one left to fight. He says there's no one left to fight, so then everybody's dead. He kills and the kids were in the school, the kids were there. He kills the kids. Now, the reason I say this is because 20 years ago, when my daughter was in the plays at the LA Temple, okay, when they had John Mastami, one year she was Krishna in the play, stealing the cow, stealing the butter, and doing the whole thing, and showing her universal form, Mother Yashoda looking in her mouth. You can't tell me anything. She was in a bunch of plays. She did the dancing. She was in the plays. She did all of that. And I was there. and I was there. And I was videotaping. it. And we did a play. A Nrsingadev play. She wasn't Nrsingadev. I think Nara Narayan was Nrsingadev. Either Nara Narayan was Nrsingadev or one of the grown Gurukuli kids who was an adult was Nrsingadev. I don't remember exactly who played Nrsingadev. But in that play, because my daughter was one of the little kids one of the little demon kids in the play. And when Nrsingadev comes out of the pillar and he kills all the little kids. They all come running up to him and they try to kill him. They attack him. One by one, he threw them down on the ground, and they laid on the ground and they died. All the little kids. And then finally he takes Hiranyakasipu and he kills him. So no one can tell me that he doesn't kill these little kids. He definitely kills these little kids. And their crime, of course, is they were demons. And who's a demon? Who's a demon? A Yavana, Rakshasha, Malecha. Who's that? Anybody who's not a devotee. Anybody who's not a devotee is a demon. And he killed the demon kids. He killed them. So I just wanted to get, again, I'm going to rant and rave. I'm going to rant and rave. But here, let's read this from the 10th canto, the Krishna book. This is actually the 10th canto. It's not Krishna book. This is the 10th canto. And this is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-8. So it's 10th canto, chapter 22, verse 8. And it says, translation, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Master of all masters of mystic yoga, saw, what did he say? Was aware of what the gopis were doing, and thus he went there surrounded by his young companions to award the gopis the perfection of their endeavor. Purport. As the master of all masters of mystic power, Lord Krishna could easily understand the desires of the gopis, and he could also fulfill them. The gopis, like all young girls from respectable families, can... Oh, no. Oh, no. Calamity in the studio. Sorry, folks. I had a guitar fall out of the sky. The guitar just fell out of the sky. And I lost my green screen. Hold on, people. Oh, this is not good. I'll have to fix that later, everybody. Oh, calamity in the studio. Okay, so here I'll show you what's going on. I'll show you what's going on. Here I am in my studio, and I just had a technical problem. Let's see. But I'm not going to let that end the show, even though I'm having major problems here. But let's see. I can't do this because I need to read. So the gopis, like all young girls from respectable families, considered the embarrassment of appearing naked before a young boy to be worse than giving up their lives. Yet Lord Krishna made them come out of the water and bow down to him. Although the bodily forms of the gopis were all fully developed, and although Krishna met them in a secluded place and brought them fully under his control, because the Lord is completely transcendental, there was not a trace of material desire in his mind. Right. Let's go on to the next one. The next verse. Taking the girl's garments, he quickly climbed to the top of a kadamba tree. Then, as he laughed loudly, his companions also laughed. He addressed the girls jokingly. Lord Krishna said, "My dear girls, you may each come here as you wish and take back your garments. I'm telling you the truth, and I'm not joking with you, since I see you're fatigued from executing austere vows. I have never before spoken a lie, and these boys know it. Therefore, O slender-waisted girls, please come forward, either one by one or all together, and pick out your clothes." Seeing how Krishna was joking with them, the gopis became fully immersed in love for him, and as they glanced at each other, they began to laugh and joke among themselves, even in their embarrassment, but still did not come out of the water because they were naked. I'm not going to read this purport. As Sri Govinda spoke to the gopis in this way, his joking words completely captivated their minds. Submerged up to their necks in the cold water, they began to shiver. They addressed him as follows. The gopi said, "Dear Krishna, don't be unfair. We know that you are the respectable son of Nanda and that you are honored by everyone in Vraj. You are also very dear to us. Please give us back our clothes. We are shivering in the cold water." Translation. "O Shyamasundar, we are your maidservants and we must do whatever you say, but give us back our clothing. You know what the religious principles are, and if you don't give us our clothes, we will have to tell the king. Please." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "If you girls are actually my maidservants, and if you will really do what I say, then come here with your innocent smiles and let each girl pick out her clothes. If you don't do what I say, I won't give them back to you. And even if the king becomes angry, what can he do?" Then, shivering from the painful cold, all the young girls rose up out of the water, covering their pubic area with their hands. When the Supreme Lord saw how the gopis were struck with embarrassment, he was satisfied by their pure loving affection. Putting their clothes on his shoulder, the Lord smiled and spoke with them. Okay. I'm having I'm having some issues back here. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, there you have the grooming of little girls who Krishna made naked. They were naked. They took off their clothes and got in the water to take a bath. Krishna and the cowherd boys snuck up, saw them in the river naked bathing, saw their clothes, stole their clothes. Krishna stole their clothes, climbed up in a tree, and said, "Hey, if you want your clothes back, you got to come. You got to come get them from me." And so they had to get up, naked, covering their pubic area with their hand, as Prabhupada says, and got their clothes back from Krishna one by one. Now, I don't know. I guess you could tell little girls that story, and somehow tell them. I mean, I don't know what that teaches a little girl. That's okay. That's okay. Combined with all the other stuff that they say, and you hear this story. I mean, when we're in the cult, when we're in the cult, we don't think of it as that weird. We don't think of it really that weird. It's weird. It's friggin' weird. But when we're in the cult, you know, all this shit's going on, and we're brainwashed, and we're like, oh, I don't know what it is. But when you're out of the cult and you read this shit, and you go, what are they teaching these? What are they teaching these girls? What are little girls supposed to what are little girls supposed to learn from this? The gurus claim they are mystics and can give love of God in 1 second, but you really got to show you want it. All lies and deception. Yeah, kind of like the gopis. They got to come out and they got to really show it. They got to show it. It's all just coercive control tactics and manipulation. Yeah, and Krishna's manipulating the gopis. You see right there. He gaslit them into coming and showing their naked bodies. He said, if you really love me, if you're really my maid servants, show me. Show me. You say you love me. You say I'm your maid servant, but come show me. These are little girls. Yes, just like in a multi-level marketing cult, you give all your all and end up minus zero. Absolutely. You end up with less than zero. This lady's going to end up in this cult. She's going to break up with her boyfriend. She's going to move in there, and she's going to be miserable for the rest of her life. And she's going to do nothing but push a shopping cart of books around a parking lot if she's lucky. They work you for no money. They work you for no money. Selling products nobody wants. It's begging. They're basically begging with a book. I call it begging with a book. It's begging. It's like, if you give me some money, I'll give you this book in return. Please give me some money. I have a book to give you. So you give me some money and I'll give you this book. They're not on book distribution. They're not distributing books. They're begging people with a book. Give me some money and I'll give you a book that you don't want. You don't want. If you were really selling books, set up a table, put the books out on the table with a sign that says Hare Krishna books, and just sit back and wait for people to come up and buy books. You're not going to sell one single book. You might sell one book. I think since Hinduism, one of the oldest religions as well, people want to believe it's the original belief system. But this isn't even, yeah, I know. That's the thing about cults. If cults can latch on to a religion, hey, like Mormons, like Jehovah's Witness, like Church of God, Waco, even Scientology. If you can make it like a church or make it like a religion, you can make your cult like this is not really a religion. This Prabhupada-ism. This is like Prabhupadology. This is whatever Prabhupada says. It's whatever Prabhupada says. If he says 12-year-old girls, then 12-year-old girls. If he says it's not Hinduism, it's not Hinduism. If Prabhupada says this, then it's this. If Prabhupada says it's that, then it's that. And if it's this and that, well, then it's this and that. And Prabhupada doesn't care. And if you don't like it, there's the door. And it's all gaslight and manipulation. For what? So little girls can get married to grown men. And, you know, and I keep harping on that, and I'm going to harp on it, because that's what this shit is about. That's what this shit's about. Little girls. I know everybody wants to say, everybody wants to say it's the first, it's the oldest. You know, if it's the first and the oldest, then I don't want nothing to do with it. Oldest and the first is usually the worst. Think of the first car that was made. It sucked. Think of the first anything that was made. It sucked. Everything. Just because these scriptures are 5,000 years old. Okay, that's 5,000 reasons to not follow them. We have 5,000 reasons not to listen to them. And I'm not saying that there's not stuff in the Bhagavad Gita or whatever that you can find, that you can say, well, this gives me pleasure in reading it. People enjoy reading books all the time. That's not the point. The point is, this is a friggin' pedophile cult. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Now, if you had a bunch of mythology stories about Krishna doing this and doing that, and there was no pedophilia in there, and you weren't marrying 12-year-old girls off to kids, off to grown men, and there was no child abuse, sexual abuse, and you didn't have gurus molesting little boys and little girls, and you didn't have gurus running off with little boys and little girls, and none of that shit was happening, hey, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Because there's a lot of places doing a lot of stuff, and ain't none of that's happening. There's a lot of places where none of that shit's happening. If it ain't you, it ain't your cult. I can tell you that right now. It ain't your cult. Your cult's got all of that shit. It's got homophobia, it's got racism, it's got sexism, and it's got this pedophilia and this child marriage. I mean, I'm not here to say every Hindu is racist and sexist. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you're in this cult and the shoe fits, and that's up to you. You can either wear that fucking shoe or you can take it off. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But I ain't gonna sit here and say, well, maybe that shoe is. No, the shoe's the shoe, and if it fits, put it the fuck on or shut up. That's what I have to say. Selling books, incense sticks, Hong Kong paintings. I know, peanuts, samosa stickers, various little sweets, an army of beggars. I know, man. Caps, baseball caps that have Juggernaut on the front, or stickers that say, with the Cheshire Cat that says, I love you. Rasta stickers that say, one love. I mean, what does that have to do with Krishna? But I mean, hey, you gotta make money. You gotta make money. Guys gotta eat. Radharani gotta sell her books up at the Hollywood Bowl. Up at the Hollywood Bowl all the time. Begging. Oh, and don't forget the girls selling dances. They selling dances, and they got these fake yoga classes. These fake yoga classes, and I knew that they had these fake yoga classes because they had one in L.A. They had one in L.A., but I was in the cult, and I would see these women with their yoga mats going up to this yoga class, and it was a fake yoga class. It was just to try to get them into the cult, and it was just a big scam. It was just a big scam. In Europe and here in Canada, we have their parades, and we shut down the streets for them. I know. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't get it. Am I out of my mind? I show this shit from their books, their videos, their gurus, their teachings, their conversations. It all comes from them. All I do is just put it out there on display. And it's amazing. It's friggin' amazing. I know, the space guitarist, man. The space guitar. First contact, man. The first contact. I know, isn't it? They say you're so fortunate you saw the devotee singing on the street. You're so fortunate, Prabhu. You're so fortunate. Oh, you're the most fortunate. Oh, you've traveled millions of lifetimes, and now you finally come across the devotees. It's that's the line, man. That you got. That is the exact line. That is the exact line. You are so fortunate. You must really be intelligent that you. And then once you get the book and you come back and you're at the temple or you're asking questions, they're like, "Oh, you're so intelligent. Oh, you're so intelligent to ask these questions. Oh, you want to know what appeared to be. Oh, you're so fortunate and so intelligent. You know, this is for the really, this is not for ordinary people. You got to be really smart to understand this stuff. You got to be really smart to understand it. Like if you were in a cult for 20 years and you speak out about it now, you're a cult expert. Yeah, I am. I'm pretty much a cult expert, but I have so much humility on steroids that I just don't. I can't bring myself to ever claim to be anything. Seriously, I can't. I have terminal imposter syndrome. I don't. I never claim to be anything because I just always feel like, well, there's somebody else. There's somebody else that knows more than me. I always think there's someone that knows more than me. So like, why am I, you know? And then I started talking on here. I started doing these videos, and I realized, like, you know, I know a lot of stuff, and I really, you know, like, not that I know everything or I know more than, but I realized that I do know a lot of stuff. You probably did recognize all the same things and knew. Yeah, they're commercial cults. They are. I recognized so much, but you know, that might have been a crack. That may have been a crack when I saw the similarities between the cult, this money cult, and what I was doing. Because I definitely made the connection. I said they are doing everything we do. Everything. Every single thing. Down to the shaming, the guilt trips, the shaming, you're gonna be a failure. Like, oh, don't bloop. In Hare Krishna, this is like leaving the Hare Krishna is the worst thing. Because you're gonna leave, you're gonna go back into the material world. You're gonna bloop into the material world, and that's it. That's the worst. And these multi-level marketing cults is the same thing. Worst thing you can do is leave, is to not trust the system. Work the system, follow the plan, adhere to the steps, follow the steps, trust the system. It's the same crap. I recognized it right away, but I didn't. But I definitely recognize fun and entertaining indoctrination. Yeah, you know what I mean? Colorful little cartoon book. Gaura Hari applies nicotine patches all over his body. He says it helps his foot with nerve damage, and that Prabhupada was doing snuff doing snuff for medical reasons. That's interesting. Because I've never heard of medical reasons for snuff, but Prabhupada didn't want you to do medicine for medical reasons. He didn't want you to do anything for any reasons. Like, Prabhupada didn't care. Prabhupada didn't care that it was for medical, except when it came to him. And he says his followers should apply nicotine patches too. That's some weird shit. That's some weird shit. She's upset her young child couldn't say Hare Krishna. I know, you know, kid's 4 years old. I mean, come on, give him a break, right? But yeah, if she's upset about that now, just wait till this kid doesn't want to chant at all. Wait till this kid doesn't want to chant. Wait till this kid doesn't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the temple. Wait till this kid doesn't want to be a vegetarian. Wants, you know. What is this? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And there you go. Not critical thinking skills or science. And the kid. You know, and these kids are going to grow up with no critical thinking skills. The kids grow up with no education. There was that one video where the girl was saying that her education was, she said it wasn't even an education. And, you know, and I didn't go to the Gurukula school, and my daughter went to the day school, and I was aware of what my daughter was learning because she'd bring her homework home, and I'd see it. My daughter was getting an education. My daughter was learning math and science, and she was learning stuff. But in the Gurukula, in India or in the boarding schools, these kids didn't learn any of that stuff. The woman was saying she grew up in the Gurukula. She didn't learn anything. And that's how a bunch of these kids are. And that's why they grew up to be non-functional kids. And they ended up, a bunch of them committed suicide. From the trauma, the abuse, the religion, the guilt, the gaslighting, being an adult in a world where they have no skills to function. I don't know what that's like. I mean, for me, I know what it's like. I paid attention in school when I'm around strangers or I'm around a place and we're having a conversation. It's like I'm not college educated, but I know some stuff. A lot of people don't know stuff. They don't pay attention. Hare Krishnas don't know shit. Hare Krishnas, ones that went to school and grew up in the Gurukula, they don't know anything. They didn't learn anything. They learned about Krishna. They learned these books and these stories. And they chanted and they danced and they did worship their gurus. They didn't learn algebra and geometry and know what pi is or what 3 sides of a triangle equals 360 or 180. I don't even know. But they don't know that stuff. They don't know the basic stuff. They don't know how to, like what a verb or a noun or an adverb or an adjective. They don't know what that shit is. These are the adults that don't know that stuff. That's what this cult produces. Prabhupada says women don't need to go to school. They can just go sew, like that lady that wrote that book. She can go sew garlands and donate her time at the temple by sewing garlands and sewing clothes for the deities. Every guru pretty much in this cult is a criminal. They're borderline criminals. They're definitely scammers. And if there was they're definitely scammers. And what they're doing is criminal. What they're doing to this lady, ruining her relationship with her boyfriend, is not a crime, but it should be. It's not a crime, but it should be. She should be able to hold them accountable for what they've done to her fucking. We should all be able to hold them accountable for the fucking shit that they've fucked up our heads with. People are talking about I still can't touch food with my left hand, or I have a problem with this or that. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. That's fine. For now, I guess we're good, right? We're still good. My studio's falling apart. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, Prabhupada and his Sikh teachings. Prabhupada and his Sikh teachings. These are Sikh teachings. Uh-oh. My wall is falling apart. My 50-cent wall, my 50-cent soundproofing wall. Marriages are based on love, trust, honesty, and courage. Prabhupada is a sick man. Prabhupada knew nothing about marriage. He knew nothing about love and trust and honesty. All he knew about was his friggin' cult. Yeah, Guru Kripa Das was a crazy hippie gone. Yeah, absolutely. And him and Yashodananda were buddies in this whole thing. I know all about it. Probably gave a golden ticket to ISKCON gurus, temple presidents to arrange marriages between devotees. Prabhupada is the architect of this whole thing. Prabhupada's the architect of this whole thing, and you can't cut anybody slack. Oh no, I'm okay for now. The sky is falling. My backdrop wall is falling down. It's falling. The sky is falling. Anyway, a lot of comments. I can't get to them all because I still before my wall completely collapses on me. I still wanted to get to one other thing, and this is going to be another rant. So this is from the pod page, and it just says here. This is coming from the pod page, and he says, a blasphemer is supposedly Krishna's enemy, and therefore a sincere devotee of these 11 pure devotees is more or less, or de facto, authorized to stop an attack on the great 11 gurus' sabha. So he's saying what he's alluding to is the murder of Salochan, that because Salochan was an offender, a blasphemer, and Krishna's enemy, because Salochan was an enemy of these gurus. What he's saying is that a blasphemer of Krishna or Krishna's enemy, a sincere devotee, is authorized to stop an attack on Krishna. So if you're like me, so I'm a blasphemer of Krishna, I'm a blasphemer of Prabhupada. I'm a blasphemer of Prabhupada. I say Prabhupada was a pedophile, I say Prabhupada was an architect of all this bullshit, that he was a fucking this and he was a fucking that. So I'm a blasphemer, and therefore a sincere devotee is more or less de facto authorized to stop an attack. And that's why Salochan was murdered, is because Salochan was offending these gurus. And these gurus felt that they were authorized to stop this attack. That's what these Krishnas think. That's what they think. When I say that they're Taliban-like, they're violent, they don't accept that people can have the freedom to say what they want. They don't accept that I can sit here and say that they do what they do. Not that I make up anything, because I'm not making up anything. All I'm doing is speaking the truth about what they do and what they say and what's in their books. And they don't feel that I have the right to do that. Or anybody has the right to do that. So, and he goes on, and he talks a lot about these, it's, the other thing I wanted to point out, this guy, he wants to talk about this guy, Stephen Gelberg. Stephen Gelberg is he left the movement a while ago, and he speaks out against. I don't know what he does. But here, Nori Muster, she wrote into this Paranjan guy. And she says, "Thank you for the summary of my time in ISKCON, and thank you for your kind words about my documenting the crimes of ISKCON. The 11 guru system was a farce, and after I read Monkey on a Stick, 1988, I realized the crimes of ISKCON were systemic. Regarding Stephen Gelberg, Subhananda, he was caught up in ISKCON for 17 years and left a year before I did. Then we reconnected as ex-member friends. Steve has spoken out to expose the zonal gurus and help people leave ISKCON without guilt." Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Does he realize that this is a pedophile cult and all these pedophile things are in there and these guys are touching these little kids because of what Prabhupada created? Or is he just speaking out about these gurus? Is he still all into Prabhupada and Prabhupada's attitudes towards women and Prabhupada's attitudes towards Negroes and Prabhupada's attitudes towards homosexuals and Prabhupada's attitudes towards child. I mean, what does how do I know what Stephen Gelberg believes? If he thinks that the whole problem is just these 11 gurus, well, then he doesn't know what's going on. And no, neither does Nori Muster. Nori Muster says the same thing. And I'm not trying to criticize her. All I'm saying, I'm just laying it out there. I'm glad she left. I'm glad she wrote books. I'm glad she's speaking out. I'm glad she's doing what she's doing. But does she understand? Does she really understand? She says the 11 guru system was a farce. I realized the crimes of ISKCON were systemic. She doesn't say Prabhupada was wrong. She doesn't say Prabhupada started a pedophile cult, that Prabhupada is there's child marriage. She doesn't mention child marriage at all. She doesn't mention that child marriage is pedophilia. When you're saying 25-year-old men can marry 12-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls, prepubescent girls, that's pedophilia. That's what he's put in his books. You're not speaking out about that? You're speaking out about these 11 gurus. It's more important. The idea that these 11 guys became gurus and they weren't really appointed, they were, just supposed to be Ritviks, or they weren't this or that. That's more important? That this cult abuses women and children and wants to marry off? I mean, this stuff is in the books. How come you don't take it out of the books if you don't agree with it? Why is it in the database? Why are you promoting this stuff? I can go to the database in 2 seconds. I can pull up all this shit about women, all this shit about child marriage. Why is it in there? If you're not promoting it, why is it in there? And you got videos of these gurus with little girls. I mean, come on, man. And someone's going to criticize me because I call it a pedophile cult. Yeah, it's a pedophile cult. That's what I'm calling it out. Sorry. Sorry you don't like it. It hurt your feelings. Sorry. What do you want? You want me to say it's not? Does that make you happy if I say, oh, it's a cult, but it's not a pedophile cult. There's just pedophiles in it, and pedophilia in the books, and pedophile gurus, and gurus leaving with young girls all the time, and all kinds of crap. 85-year-old gurus with their 35-year-old disciple. Stories about stealing little girls' clothes and making them cover their pubic area. Grown man rubbing his hands all over naked girls. What do you want me to call it? What the fuck you want me to call that? The fuck am I supposed to call it? You hate women. Talk about hitting women. You can beat a drum, a dog, and a woman. Prabhupada says it like 1,000 times. But that's not domestic violence. That's not promoting domestic violence. That doesn't promote domestic violence. In his books, he says that women have to be submissive to their husbands. Rupa Manjari, she wrote a friggin' thing saying, my husband almost killed me twice. And he beat me, and he beat all his wives. And you're going to tell me that this is... What the fuck you want me to say? Oh, it's Hinduism, and we have to be careful with what we... No, fuck that. This is a pedophile cult, and it's just piggybacking off of Hinduism. Meanwhile, Prabhupada says all up and down his books, it's not Hinduism. Fucking schizophrenic, fucking pedophile cult. And you want me to dance around and pretend like it's not. Like something else is more important. Like there's something else more important than this cult ruining little girls' lives and women's lives and everybody's life. Like there's something more important about this cult that we should be talking about. You want me to talk about something else? What do you want me to talk about? How they shouldn't be picking so many flowers? What do you want me to talk about? How maybe they should distribute a different type of book? What the fuck you want me to talk about? How they don't get Social Security? How they don't get any training, life training or anything? Is that really, that's more important? That's more important that there's a goddamn pedophile cult? What? It's more important that these 11 guys, it's friggin' ancient history. It's 50 fucking years ago. The July 9th letter was 1977. You guys still arguing over that shit? I mean, move on. That's what I was trying to say when I was a Ritvik with your Shodanana. I'm like, move on with this shit. Let's if we're Ritviks, let's do it. Let's be Ritviks. Let's do our thing. What do we care about what they... No, they want to just keep fighting and arguing. This is their whole fucking... I'm like, what the fuck? That's not... How long ago was that? That's more important? Whether these guys poisoned Prabhupada is more important than the fact that you got these fucking predators molesting kids and then just nothing happens to them? You don't report them to the police. You don't kick them out. They just go on like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not important. Like, people shouldn't know. Hey, you're joining a cult. These gurus, they molest kids and they don't do anything about it. You don't think that's important? You don't think that's important? You want to talk about how Bhakti Siddhanta is not really following the real lineage of the Gaudiya Samiti Vedanta Society that was started in 1870. What the fuck? I'm not here to talk about that shit. That's more important. That's more important than protecting people from having their fucking lives destroyed, damaged, mental illness caused by this bullshit. Talking about how Bhaktisiddhanta got his Brahmin thread is more important than letting people know, don't join this fucking cult, it's going to fucking ruin your life and your kid's life. No, I'm supposed to be happy discussing how long a dhoti should be. The fuck? Seriously, man. Seriously. That's what you want me to talk about? You make a place for ex-devotees to come together and talk, but when they talk about something important like pedophilia and getting these fucking pedophiles and getting the fucking knowledge out that this is a pedophile cult because people don't realize it, that, you don't want me to talk about that. You don't want me to talk about that shit. You want to talk about how the Brahmin thread is not really Vedic. Or how the Indus Valley friggin' they found a friggin' coin that had Vishnu on it. Ooh, wow. Can you believe these people? Serious, man. It is some hardcore brainwashing. Like, I'm supposed to dance around your fucking feelings because if I tell you that you're in a pedophile cult, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Well, maybe you should have found that out before you joined the fucking cult. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault you fucking ended up in this goddamn pedophile cult. And I'll tell you, all these people out there, all you people watching, all you people watching in the future that are watching months later, You're going to find out that your guru was a pedophile. You're going to find out that there was a pedophile right in your neighborhood, that there was a pedophile right in your temple, that guru is going to fall down. I guarantee it. There's going to be another guru is going to fall down. You're going to run off with this guy or that girl or this kid or that kid. You think Trivikram is the last one? Or Bhaktividya Purna is the last one? Or Lokanath? Or anything? You're fucking out of your minds. One day you're going to find out. You're going to find out and go, God damn, fucking this is a pedophile cult. And if you don't know you're in a pedophile cult, I'm telling you right the fuck now, that's what you're in. And you want to talk about Bhaktisiddhanta's Gayatri mantra thread, and is Gayatri, is it okay to hear the mantra on a tape recorder, or do you have to hear it? Oh, fuck. It makes me feel some kind of way. I'm not really sure how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like, I don't know, man, like just fucking cold. It like just sucks your whole brain out of your head. Because even the people that leave, they ain't got a clue. And I can understand some people that, you know, they joined and they left and they don't even know what they were in. Seriously. Some of you out there, you don't even know what you were in. You joined it, you thought it was going to be one thing, it ended up being not what you thought it was, and you said, you know what, I want to have a hamburger and I want a girlfriend or whatever, and you left. But you didn't realize the bullet that you dodged. You didn't, and you don't. Because anybody who knows what they were in and what's going on, they wouldn't look back fondly on this bullshit. Even if you had good times. I had good times. I went to India. I saw the Taj Mahal a bunch of times. I had a great time in India. I still have a friend in India. I have all of that. But you know what? I didn't need a pedophile cult to do that. It just so happens by coincidence that's what happened. But I didn't need that cult. Cult didn't do nothing for me. I ain't blaming the cult for that. Just like I ain't blaming the cult for all the other shit that happened in my life that the cult didn't have nothing to do with. So yeah, you know, at the time my daughter was dancing on stage at the Rath Yatra. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is great. But I didn't know it was a pedophile cult. Now I know it's a pedophile cult. And when I look back on that time when my daughter was dancing on the stage, it's tainted by the fact that it's a pedophile cult. Now, is that my fault? Yeah, it's my fault because I joined it. I joined it. It's my fault. I joined it. So if you're in a pedophile cult, you didn't know it, someone tells you, hey, by the way, you're in a pedophile cult, don't get mad at that person. That person's trying to tell you something. Yeah, fucking bullshit. And all these fucking fake ex-Hare Krishna, they're everywhere. And like I said before, man, anything I say here, you're watching. If you're watching me out there, and something I say, if the shoe fits, wear that fucking shoe. Either wear that fucking shoe or get the fuck out. That's up to you. That's your foot and it's your shoe. I know, that looks good, man. That burger looks good, and I'll eat it with my left hand. That's how good it looks. I will pick that up and I will eat that with my left hand. Oh, that looked really good. That looked really good. I'm getting hungry. I wanted to spin the wheel because I got to spin the wheel. My ceiling is falling down. I don't know what to do. Okay, I guess that's better. I guess that's better. It's like we had an earthquake. Oh, I'm having an earthquake. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Hey, show must go on. Okay. So that's... We're going to spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. This is going to be fun. Look at the wheel up here. I can do this with my fallen ceiling, with sky falling. Let me get out of the way. Where can I go? I'm gonna go over here. I guess I'll go over here. No, I don't feel comfortable over there. I want to go back over here. Go back over here. Okay. Let me get my music. If you guys want to gamble, you can definitely gamble on the wheel. You can pick your favorite idiot. I think today I'm going for I'm going to go for Wisdom of the Sages today. I want Wisdom of the Sages to win. I haven't seen them in a while. But if you want to place your bets, please. Yeah, I know. I'm going to grab a bite. I'm going to grab a bite in just a bit when we're after this wheel. It's going to be the wheel of food right after this. Right after the wheel of idiot. It's going to be wheel of food. And yes, of course, we got the wheel, the wheel, spinning wheel. And we got, where's my theme music? All right, place your bets. You got a few seconds there to go to place your bets for the wheel of idiot. And also before the sky completely falls on me. I got some work to do. When the show's over, I got work to do. Let's see what we got here. Okay, you ready? I don't see any bets. Nobody wants to bet. Nobody wants to wager. No wagering. Wagering is allowed. I'm not paying out, but wagering is allowed. Okay, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel and see who's gonna win. Let's spin the wheel. Yes. And well, wait a minute. Okay, and go. Hey, I can't believe it. I win. I'm the winner today. I can't believe I'm the actual winner. I said wisdom, and it was not rigged. It was, as you saw, it was not rigged. It is wisdom of the sages. Sorry, fake human. Sorry, fake human. I am the winner today. Let's see. Let me. Okay, so here I. It was wisdom of the sages, and let's see if we can find these idiots. I know, I win. I actually won. I know. We have a winner today, and congratulations to. And you know what? I have a feeling that I won because I'm Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda Swami. I think that. So I'm going to put some Wisdom of the Sages on here. Let's see. I can find these guys. Wisdom of the Sages. Let's see. Oh, these jokers. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get this going.
The way that Booker T. Washington phrased it was, it narrows and degrades your soul. It narrows. And once I've allowed that person to create hatred, which is the cause of the whole problem in the first place, once that exists in me, we think, oh, I need that so that I can combat it. I need some good hatred in me, And
it's also sometimes to make a public statement.
Well, yeah, look and admire my hatred. It shows you how committed I am. It's not the hatred. You can be just or even more committed without a drop of hatred, just with clarity. Just with clarity. And clarity means, this is, of course, where our spiritual knowledge comes in. Clarity means that I understand that underneath that warped mind, there's a soul just like every other soul. And that mind's been warped because of that person's experience. I've probably been through many lifetimes where I've been just as warped. and maybe even this lifetime, maybe even in some ways right now, I'm
Maybe even a
warped
year
with
ago,
some-
you were that warped,
Yeah.
Kostuba. You know.
I might be I might be callous to how I'm cruel to others, or how I commit injustices to others, even right now.
Hmm.
And others could be justifying their hate against me. So let's just try to, let's try to tone that down. And he said, I learned the lesson that great men or great people cultivate love. Right? That's actually what this is what the path of bhakti is. I'm cultivating love. I'm cultivating love, and if I'm going to if that's going to grow, it means that I can't at all cherish this spirit of hatred. And sometimes we even feel we need it, like in more superficial arenas. I hate that band. I hate the, I hate,
Right.
whatever. Even that, like we got, like it makes me cool to hate that person that's uncool, or it makes me deep to hate that person that's shallow, or it makes me.
Okay, now these jokers, these jokers are embarrassing. I'm embarrassed when I see these guys. When I see these guys, I'm truly embarrassed. Okay, so the guy with the beard used to be a punk rocker. He used to be, like, I guess, the head of a couple punk bands like Shelter or the Cro-Mags or something. I don't know, whatever. And then he got into Krishna somehow, and I don't know what their story is, but he wants to paint himself as some kind of sage, or like he's got wisdom, he's got something to teach people. What the fuck are you teaching people? You teaching people again? I'm gonna go back. Yeah, is a singer of Shelter, and I think the Cro-Mags, or a couple bands. He was in these guys. You think he's going to sit there and talk about something? He's going to teach something? Like he's somebody? Like they're like I'm on here talking about what I know, which is this is a pedophile cult. I know that it's a scam, and I know all the ins and outs about it. That's what I know. They're going to sit there and act like they've got some they've got some wisdom of the sages that they're going to. That's a lot different. That's a lot different than saying, "Hey, I was in this Hare Krishna cult, and I know like their teachings, and I know like it's a pedophile cult, and I know the child marriage, and I know my daughter was molested, and I know what was going on in the LA temple. I know behind the scenes stuff. I know a lot of behind the scenes stuff. That's different than for me to come on here and go, I can teach you about the Vedas, and I'm going to tell you about Vyasadeva, and I'm going to tell you about Kali Yuga and the cycles of Kali Yuga and how Bali Mar and all of this bullshit. Now, I could understand if it was the Maharishi or some, but I don't understand that. But it makes more sense. It makes more sense if it was like the Maharishi or some old Indian guy who's been sitting in the mountains for fucking 100 years and a long beard, and he's like, hey, just chill out, whatever. That makes more sense than this guy. All he's ever done was he sang in a band. What did he sang in a band, right? He sang, Shelter, yeah. He had T-shirts, hoodies, and stuff. He's still a punk rocker and pretends to be. See, I didn't know he was still a punk rocker, but he definitely pretends to be. He sits there, gives out like he's got knowledge, like he's got something to say, like he's got something to teach. And I believe that this is part of that narcissism that like I gotta be the guy that knows stuff and teaches stuff. Not just like I'm going to read the news. Hey, I'm going to tell you what happened in the Krishna cult today. So-and-so had sex with his disciple, and I'm reading the news. No, I got something to teach you. I'm going to teach you like Gora Hari. How's this guy any different than Gora Hari? I'm going to teach you higher stages of love, of this and that. I'm going to... Oh, God.
Down to earth to hate that person that's like artsy or whatever, whatever it is. It's just like, when we grow up in bhakti, we realize I don't need any of that. I just want to let all that go. I just want to try to 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 feel a sense of oneness on the spiritual level with every living being. To let go of not to let go of my discernment, but to let go of a judgmental attitude towards others. Focus that lens more on myself, right? Rather than spreading it all out all around the world and finding others to condemn. Find out what's in myself, within my own mind.
He looks very looks very renounced with that very nice looking apartment or whatever. I don't know if that's a real background or not. It looks like Krishna stuff on the wall, so it looks like it's real. It's kind of hard to tell, but it does look like a real background. He's got a water cooler back there. I don't know who'd have a stock photo with a water cooler in it, but it does look like a pretty nice looking apartment. It doesn't look very renowned. It doesn't look like a sage. He definitely doesn't look like a sage to me. This guy, he's got his mridanga back there, so that looks like a real apartment. It looks like, my sky is falling again. All right, everybody. I guess that's gonna be about it for today. But yeah, look at this guy. He's got a pretty nice apartment too. So there you can see my my ceiling is falling down. It's it's the wisdom, it's the stupidity of the idiots is what I call it. I call it the stupidity it is because for being sages, they look like they got some pretty nice looking digs. They got a nice apartment there. They both have a nice apartment. Those eyebrows though, wisdom of the fakers, wisdom of the fakers, wisdom of the fakers. And those eyebrows though, I know those eyebrows. Like one guy, like this guy's got too much facial hair, and then the other guy, this is the one guy's got too much facial hair, and then this other guy's got like no. Those eyebrows though. Where's fake human with the eyebrows? I don't know. I know. Even my ceiling, it's just it can't get enough. My ceiling can't get enough, man. It's one thing after another. If it's not my computer, it's my studio. Like I get one thing going and something else breaks down, and then hey, that's how it is here. That's how it is where I live here. But I think that's going to do it for me today because I don't know, this whole thing's going to collapse, and I'll be sitting here in a pile of dust. I'm going to be sitting here in a pile of dust. But I got to get this fixed, and I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's been a lot of fun. I want to show you how ISKCON grooms little girls into being submissive 12-year-old wives. And I want to thank you all for putting up with my tone. I know I'm kind of low vibe, and I know I like to rant sometimes, and I can be pretty harsh. But you know what? That's one of my lovable qualities is my my tone and my harshness. What can I say? Enough of that. What can I say? I have a good time. I'm glad you guys have a good time. Thanks for joining in. Please like, share, and subscribe. This has been another great class. I feel like they're just getting better and better and more fun as they go on. There we go. Class over. Hey, Shri Purna Prem Vidya Mahara. Yeah. So I'm gonna get the best one and we'll make it into there we go. Bhakti Venmo. Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda Swami. And yeah, that's what we got. I want to thank everybody for watching today, and please everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, everything, whatever it is, make it great. Have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult. And hey, for all you new people out there watching, this is me when I was a Hare Krishna. So thanks everybody.